Okay, so with our explanation reports, I'm just going to go through something very quickly. Number one is that with your notes, it's really important that when you're taking notes that you weren't writing full sentences. Why is it important not just to write full sentences and write exactly what you've read off an online source?
Because if you write a sentence, then how are you going to put it into another sentence of your words?
Exactly. So if the sentence has already been formed for you, it's really hard not to keep that formation of those sentences and put it into your own words. So that's why we use dot points. So very quickly, I'm going to run through how I would do that, like we've done before. So for me, I go, okay, my first paragraph is going to be on poverty, and the whole thing's going to be on poverty. My first paragraph is going to be on causes of poverty. Okay. So here, I know I always say don't use the first website. Okay. This one seems to be a good website, but make sure you go and look through all your websites. I'm going to click on this one here, top 9 causes of global poverty, and I'm just going to read through this and I'm going to make some notes. Okay. Couple of things. Okay, one of the reasons why people are in poverty is because they have inadequate access to clean water and nutritious food. Okay. So on my notes, in my notes section here, okay, I'm going to say, actually we could do some split screen. I know you guys know how to do that on your iPads. Okay, so inadequate access to clean water and nutritious food. So lack of clean water and good food. Could use the word nutritious if I want, but I'm just going to do that. Okay, I'm going to read through that and go, okay, a lot of people don't have that. Currently 2 billion people don't have access to clean water. Okay, good food. People struggle to escape extreme poverty. So the question that you've got to ask yourself is, why would clean water and good food, why would that cause poverty? If you can't get access to clean water, how would that cause poverty? Does anyone have any ideas? Samantha?
They might not be able to stay healthy because they don't have it, because they can't get a good job or do the certain things that they need to do to get money.
Yeah, good. So here, for me, I would say that has a lot to do with having a healthy body so that you can be strong enough to work, okay, or even to function. So then I go to my next one. I go little or no access to livelihood or jobs. So no access to jobs. Now that could be a lot of reasons why you don't have access to jobs. Maybe there's little infrastructure around you, so there are no actual physical jobs around. There's no builders, so you can't help a builder and get paid to do that. There is no farmland around, so you can't get paid to do farming. All those things, they may not have access to those things. So for me, I can expand on that later. I keep scrolling down. I go down. Conflict. Okay, so wars and things like that. So here, what often happens from what I've read here is that during periods of violence, oftentimes the males will go to war and die, and the females will be left by themselves with the kids. So how do they then get an income if they're trying to stay home and look after the kids, if there's no one else to help them? So war/violence can be a reason for poverty. And so here I'm going to write male injured or died, and then I can write things like female can't work while looking after kids. And oftentimes people aren't wanting to employ the female who says, I can't work all the time. Okay, I just want to work this time because I look after my kids. So because the jobs are full-time jobs. So that can be an issue. Poor education. Alright? Poor education. Why does poor education, why would that cause poverty? Luke?
With better education, you can get better paying jobs and stuff like that.
Fantastic. So if you've got an education, it opens up different jobs, better jobs. So instead of working out in a wheat field, you might have the job of, you could be in a supermarket, or you could be selling insurance, or you could be working in a bank, or you could be doing anything, or you could work in a farm. It doesn't matter. But if you've got an education, it opens up to lots of different things. So poor education means that you have less jobs available to you. Right. So you can see there with what I've done there, let me zoom in, with my note taking, that's not bad note taking. Probably something I should be adding in there are things like statistics. If statistics are seen, like the lack of clean water, 2 billion, okay, I should be trying to get more of those to add in there. Why do I want statistics? Annabelle?
Because it shows that you've done research and that they're like facts.
Yeah, absolutely. It shows that I've done research. It shows that it's factual. What else, Christian?
It also makes the person want to read more.
That's true. It could actually grab your audience and make them want to continue reading your piece of writing. John?
Because sometimes when you put your opinion, it could because in explanation, of course, you're not allowed to put your opinion in.
Good. It can't be opinionated. So you could say things like, according to the World Health Organization, ... Okay? Because that's an actual organisation and what they've said. Lacey?
It backs up your answers and like the statements that you've said.
Absolutely. So you've made a statement and then it backs up your statement. So now I need to put this into an actual paragraph. Now the first thing that needs to happen in a paragraph is what? Does anyone remember from when we did, well, any piece of writing really, what's the first thing that needs to go in a paragraph to start a paragraph? It has to be Emily? Topic sentence. Well done. So you must have a topic sentence. Topic sentences are really important. So for me, my topic sentence might be something, I'll probably say something like, there are lots of challenges with this issue. Some of those challenges could include these things. So I might say the challenge with an issue like poverty, okay, because that way we're telling people what we're talking about, is that there are so many causes. And I've used the word causes because that's really telling people what the paragraph's about. There are so many causes. People know that we're going to be talking about causes in this paragraph, which place individuals and communities in a difficult position. Okay? So that could be my topic sentence. That tells people, okay, the issue is poverty. Okay, it says in there. It then says in that sentence that there are different causes, and it tells people that people are in a difficult position. Now you're set up to talk about all of the things that you want to talk about in that paragraph. Okay, and there's no confusion about what that paragraph's about. So topic sentence is done. I now want to talk about the access to jobs. Okay, for me, I think that's a really important one. I'll probably say that poor education is probably one of the bigger ones. So we could even start with that if you want. So our sentence could be something like, one of the reasons for poverty is the lack of education or the poor education people receive in
A learning course. The world.
poor, we could use a better word than poor. You could say, I'll just say poor countries. Poor countries, you could say third world countries, you could say less fortunate countries, etc. One of the reasons for poverty is a lack of education or the poor education people receive in poor countries. And then I'd say why. Okay? This limits the job opportunities that these people have access to, and then you keep talking. What would probably come after that? What would you've just given us your statement. What should come after that?
What's that?
A fact or a piece of evidence of some sort. So now give evidence. Okay? So that could be a fact, that could be a statement from somebody like the World Health Organization or whatever. So first of all, you have your topic sentence. Then you explain what the reason is, and then go a little bit deeper about that. Then give evidence for it. Then you can move on to your next reason. So now, I have now done that. Okay? And I can, I'll cross it out. Okay? Done it, crossed it out, move on. Alright? Then we get to the end of our paragraph, and then we're ready to start our new one with a topic sentence. Any questions about that so far?
This is about the what's it called? The body. Does it have to be cause, impact, and
Change.
change? Yeah.
Yep, good. So some people have changed that around a little bit and they haven't got exactly that, but generally that's what we've said. If you want to cover all bases, first of all do the causes, do the impact of that issue, and then talk about how people can change what's happening in the world, or the how organisations or individuals are making a difference.
Is that one whole body?
So that there is one paragraph, and then we'll have a paragraph and a paragraph, and that makes up our body.
Okay, and also, so is each paragraph about a different cause?
No, so the first paragraph is all about all the causes. The second paragraph is about the impact, and the third paragraph is about the changes we can make. Okay? What I'm going to say also is I would like people to write your body for paragraph 1, 2 and 3 before you write your introduction, before you write your conclusion. Okay? Because remember, in your introduction you are telling people what you're going to write about. Pretty hard to do that if you don't know what you're writing about. Okay? Alright. Make sure that we don't just have your facts, fact 1, fact 2, fact 3, fact 4, fact 5, and just go on the back, fact, and just put them into sentences. Okay, that's not good writing piece. Alright, I'll give you an example of a piece of writing. Okay, this is a student from last year. because theirs is a little bit different, obviously they didn't have the same headings as you. So for him, he was looking at, you know, the main ingredients of biofuels. He talked about what they included. He talked about what the crops needed. He talked about how the crops needed glucose and sunlight and photosynthesis. He talked about the water for drinking, and then he went on to his next paragraph, which then talked about the process of creating biofuel. And then his last one was about what they're actually used for. Okay, so, and then he had his conclusion and his referencing. Okay, we want to see that you have things like books, that you have websites, and that you even reference, if you are going to add in photos or diagrams, that you would reference those as well. Alright, videos, make sure you reference videos. If you need an opportunity to go to the library to get books, make sure that you make the time to do that.
Do we have to reference like every website we use, or only like a few?
You reference every website that you get information from.
Can we start our like rough copy in our books or on our iPads?
You can do it, I would suggest that you do it on your iPads so that you don't have to retype it. Something that we're finding is that people are seeing this as such a big thing. Like Mrs. Zato and I said to one student, it's almost like you're trying to eat an elephant with exhibition, and the way you eat an elephant is one bite at a time. Okay, don't look at the big elephant and go, this is too much, it's too big a weight to carry. You need to make sure you take it one bite at a time. So what we're saying is, realistically, after lunch, we have a double lesson. In a double lesson, you probably should be able to get a paragraph written, one paragraph, in an hour and a half. Okay, so have a look at that and go, okay, well today, in class, I'm going to write this one paragraph. If I can't finish the paragraph in class, I'm going to finish it for homework. That way tomorrow I can write the next paragraph. And then the next day I can write the next paragraph. And so it's going to take you 5 or 6 days to write this explanation report, but you know you only have to do one paragraph a day, which is a little bit more manageable than going, I don't know how I'm going to get this done. Alright, so have a think about that. Have a think about how you can just do it bite-sized, manageable pieces.
Is Miss Zato still taking groups outside to talk to them?
After lunch she will be.
Do we have to add a question up there as well?
So generally in the explanation report you do start with a question. Yeah. But we'll talk about that.
Who was it?
Lucas Freund.
I thought it was Mark's.
It said at the bottom.
It said Lucas.
Oh, it is Lucas.
Boom.